Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Market Wrap. As you can see, I'm still stuck at home, hanging out in my kitchen, but we're getting used to doing these weekly shows, so it's great. Happy to be doing them. This week, we actually have a great show to talk about because we had Watches and Wonders this week. So Watches and Wonders was the reincarnation of SIHH. And basically, it was a virtual show they did because they had to cancel the live one. And they launched it on their website this week. So we were able to see new introductions from a number of our favorite brands. Do it digitally. It wasn't perfect, but it was certainly kind of like the NFL draft. We all watched and we all got it, even though it wasn't quite the same as it's always been. So we were super happy to see some new introductions. So we're going to talk about a couple of those introductions and how I see them affecting the secondary market. Because obviously we're dealing in the secondary market, and what the new goods get launched definitely affects, trickles down to the secondary market. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So there's three pieces we'll talk about today. The first one is the Cartier Pasha. So Pasha is a kind of historic collection by Cartier, originally launched in 1985, was always super popular on the ladies' pieces. So they did men's sizes as well. But again, iconic, kind of went on till the early 2000s, and then it's been discontinued for probably 10 or 15 years. So they did a relaunch of Pasha, looks very similar to the older version, stainless steel and gold version. So we'll see some of those come through. And I expect we'll see that coming out towards the summer. The second piece we saw was from IWC, and it was actually a collection. And it's their most iconic collection, in my opinion, is Portugieser. They did it in just a regular automatic. They did the Portugieser Chrono. They did a perpetual. We're going to focus on the Portugieser Chronos. To me, it's the most iconic. IWC, always a favorite. It's a great two-register chrono, about $6,000. Always trade them, always have them, iconic piece of any collection. So the third piece we're talking about is my favorite brand, Lange Sohne, did a new Zeitwerk minute repeater. It's a white gold, beautiful minute repeater, decimal minute repeater, blue dial, gorgeous size, amazing piece. Another extension, the first Zeitwerk minute repeater was the platinum version. So this will have a little bit better tone because gold resonates better. Should be a beautiful piece, limited edition to 30 pieces. So now we're going to kind of talk about how we expect these new introductions to affect the secondary market. So Pasha is a collection that we do quite well with. And if you go on our website, you'll see, 30, 35 variations of different Pashas. Super good values. The ladies' Pashas in steel, we trade $2,000 to $2,500. You can get a gold one, $6,000 to $8,000. The new collection, the plain, simplest piece starts at $5,700, goes up to about $17,000. So I expect, like when they introduced relaunch of Panther, the secondary market on the previous generation tends to go up because suddenly Cartier is a fashion watch. They do an amazing job of marketing. You'll see this new collection in every ladies' magazine. There'll be billboards everywhere, and people will start talking about Pasha again. So I expect the previous generation is going to creep up in price because they're going to represent a great value against the new piece. You'll still be able to get the watch that looks very similar for about half the money. So I think we'll see strength in the Pasha collection. The IWC, I think, is going to go the other way. So the new Portugieser is great. It is an in-house movement, has a new buckle, has a beautiful look. It looks almost exactly to the original, but with an in-house IWC movement, skeleton back, great balance, great watch. What I think is going to happen is anybody who's got the original is going to want this new version because it's it's a see-through back, and it's got everything, all the bells and whistles. So I think what we're going to see is once they start shipping, people in the older versions, I expect to see more softness on the secondary market on the previous generation because the new one is so good. Just one of the cause and effects we'll see in the market. And the last piece is the Zeitwerk minute repeater. So now this is incredible, top-of-the-line Lange. But hold on to your shirts because they're making 30 pieces, and it's a mere 449,000 euro. So roughly $480,000, you can sign up and get one of these beauties. Now, again, not everybody in the planet's looking to spend 480,000, but suddenly now you look at the decimal striking time. So it's basically just gongs the hour, not a full minute repeater, but very similar look, size, and feel. And you can purchase that right now for $79,500, which suddenly looks like a bargain when you look at the previous, the new version at $450. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it'll bring attention to Zeitwerk, where I think those prices have come down on the previous ones, and I think we'll start to see some escalation there as well. So overall, it was nice to have this activity. It was nice to see new goods coming out. Yesterday was probably the busiest trading day we've had since COVID started. It seems like we're getting a little more energy in the market. Our Hong Kong office, Hong Kong told me this morning they're going to open up fully next week. Switzerland is dropping restrictions next week. And we're starting to see pockets in the US that are opening up. And I think people are starting to feel like we're at least seeing the end of the road if we're not there yet. So we're getting a lot more activity. We're trading a lot more. And it's a great feeling to see some energy back in the market. And some goods coming in and going out, which is everybody would love nothing more than be back to normal. I think we're still probably, 3 weeks to a month away from that, but I feel like now there's a light at the end of the rainbow, so I'm super excited for that. So the last thing we're going to talk about today is some of the new goods that we've seen come through. Obviously not across my desk this week because I'm at home, but at least through my computer. We did buy a couple of great pieces we wanted to talk about today. The first one is a Rolex GMT-Master, 18 karat yellow gold, with the green dial. Now, this was an iconic piece made for the anniversary. They were a little soft when they came out, then they shot up in value. Thank you, John Mayer, for saying that colored dials and Rolex are the hottest thing. And then now we've finally seen them come back a little bit. So this piece was something we used to sell. It got as high as probably the low to mid 30s. This one's going to come in under 30,000. So it's nice to see that the price adjustment come through, and it's just an awesome piece, great condition. Love to have that back in the collection as we hadn't had one in a few months. The second piece we came across is one of the Omega Speedmasters, and this one is the dark side of the moon. So it's the black case, classic Speedmaster, absolutely beautiful watch. I think Speedies in general are underappreciated. I think we're going to see more activity in those. It's a great classic piece. Love to have that one back. And the last piece is a Reverso Duetto, ladies piece. You flip over, has two sides. It's almost May. We're starting to think about Mother's Day for all those you guys who want to stay out of trouble. It's a real value in a ladies piece that's going to come in under $4,000 and classic design. Love to have it in the collection. So that's kind of the wrap up for this week. Again, follow us on Instagram. I was on Instagram Live once this week. We're there Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Always check in. Keep sending in your questions. We love the feedback. Hopefully the energy keeps coming up and keeps coming back. And pray still for our frontline people who are out there working, and stay home, stay safe, but keep engaged and watch this.